12 surprising etiquette mistakes the upper class never makes. Many women carry elegance deep within, yet it's often the smallest social details that quietly disturb the harmony of how they're seen. You may not notice it in the moment, but a single gesture, a choice of words, or even silence at the wrong time can leave an impression that doesn't match who you truly are. This isn't about being perfect, it's about aligning your natural grace with the signals people instinctively respond to. In this video, we'll explore the subtle errors polished women avoid with insights you can start using immediately. And at the very end, I'll share a rarely spoken truth that turns everyday poise into a kind of influence that lasts. Mistake 1. Speaking before fully registering the tone of the room. Jumping into conversation too quickly can feel natural, especially when you're excited or want to contribute. But without pausing to sense the rhythm of the space, your words may unintentionally clash with the energy already present. Think of it like stepping into a piece of music. You need a moment to catch the beat before you begin to dance. Why does this matter? Because people are influenced not just by what you say, but by how aligned your words feel with the moment. Studies in social psychology from Princeton University show that people form impressions within seconds, often based more on tone and timing than content itself. By pausing briefly, listening first, observing body language, hearing the volume and pace, you give yourself the gift of presence. That small act of restraint allows your voice to land with more authority, more calm, and more grace, strengthening both confidence and connection. Mistake 2. Overusing apologies in neutral situations. Sorry is a powerful word, but when used too often, especially in situations that don't call for it, it begins to lose meaning. Many women slip into apologizing for things like reaching for an item in the grocery aisle, asking a colleague a question, or even taking up space in conversation. While it may feel polite, it quietly signals that you're at fault when you're not. This matters because constant apologies can chip away at how others perceive your authority. According to research published in Psychological Science, frequent unnecessary apologies can make someone appear less confident and less competent. Over time, it conditions people to expect you to yield. Instead, replace sorry with gratitude or acknowledgement. Instead of, sorry I'm late, try, thank you for waiting. Instead of, sorry to bother you, say, I appreciate your time. Gratitude elevates the exchange. It shows respect without diminishing your presence. Mistake 3. Checking the time or phone mid-conversation. Glancing at your watch or phone while someone is speaking may seem harmless, but it often communicates one thing: disinterest. Even if your intention is practical, perhaps you're managing a busy schedule, the silent message sent is that your attention is divided. And attention, more than anything else, is what makes people feel valued. Subtle body language amplifies this message. A quick look down, a shift of the eyes, or the flick of a wrist interrupts the flow of connection. According to a 2022 study in the Journal of Social Psychology, people are significantly less likely to feel heard when a device enters the interaction, even for a few seconds. A graceful alternative is simple presence. If you must check the time, do it between conversations, not during. And if you're pressed, gently acknowledge it. I want to give this my full focus, but I need to leave soon. Presence builds trust. Distraction weakens it. Mistake 4. Introducing people without context or relevance. An introduction may feel as simple as stating a name, but when it lacks context, it can leave both parties awkwardly searching for connection. Simply saying, "This is Sarah," offers no bridge for conversation. The moment passes, and instead of feeling included, people may feel dismissed or overlooked. Introductions matter because they set the stage for how others engage. A thoughtful introduction is less about formality and more about weaving relevance. For example, "This is Sarah. She's a graphic designer who just completed a beautiful project for a wellness brand. And this is Daniel. He's been leading creative campaigns in the tech space." Immediately, there's a thread to follow. When you give context, you show care for everyone involved. It signals that you see people fully and want them to shine. That small gesture builds respect, encourages conversation, and deepens the sense of connection in any circle. Mistake 5. Correcting minor errors in public converse. Pointing out a small mistake. Whether it's a mispronounced word, a date slightly off, or a detail someone forgets, may seem helpful, but in public it can feel like humiliation. The correction draws attention not to the content, but to the person's slip, and even minor slip-ups can sting when witnessed by others. Why does this matter? Because respect is felt most deeply in moments of vulnerability. According to Harvard Business Review, people remember public embarrassment more vividly than private praise. By correcting openly, you may unintentionally create defensiveness or diminish someone's confidence. The graceful alternative is patience. If the detail truly matters, bring it up later in private with care and context. Often, it's best to let it go entirely. Over time, choosing dignity over precision strengthens trust. People feel safe around you, knowing you'll protect their pride rather than expose their imperfections. That is lasting influence. Mistake 6. Sitting before hosts or elders are seated. Taking your seat before the host or before someone older has settled may feel like a small oversight, but its symbolism runs deep. Waiting signals respect. It shows that you recognize the flow of the gathering and the roles of those who guide it. Even today, when settings are less formal, this gesture still carries weight. Think of a business lunch. Pausing until the client sits reflects consideration. At a family dinner, allowing elders to be seated first honors tradition and presence. In both cases, you're communicating something larger than manners. You're showing that you value order and respect over haste. This simple act conveys elegance without words. It suggests patience, self-possession, and awareness of others. And those qualities don't just elevate the moment. They shape how people remember you, someone who brings ease, thoughtfulness, and quiet authority into every shared space. Mistake 7. Overemphasizing personal achievements in casual talk. Sharing what you've accomplished can feel like a way of connecting. Yet when achievements dominate casual conversation, it can come across as self-centered rather than engaging. The truth is, subtlety often speaks louder. Accomplishment needs no spotlight. Its glow is brightest when balanced with humility. Shifting the focus toward meaningful dialogue creates richer connections. Instead of centering the story on what I did, explore the lessons learned, the people who inspired you, or the broader idea behind the achievement. For example, rather than saying, "I ran a marathon," you might share, "Training taught me so much about patience and consistency." This opens a doorway for shared experiences. Interestingly, people naturally acknowledge true accomplishment without prompting. Research from Stanford University shows that individuals perceived as humble are often rated more likable and more competent. When you hold back from oversharing, your presence leaves room for curiosity, and others will invite your story forward. Mistake 8. Using filler words that dilute authority. Words like like, you know, or sort of slip into conversation easily, but they quietly weaken your message. They give the impression that you're uncertain, even when your point is strong. Think of your words as currency. Every extra filler word reduces the value of what you're offering. Replacing them doesn't require rehearsed speech. Instead, choose clear anchors. Swap like with, for example, or replace you know with what matters here is. Simple, intentional phrases carry far more weight than scattered fillers. The most powerful tool, though, is the pause. Trained speakers, from TED presenters to world leaders, lean on silence to let ideas breathe. It takes practice, but with time, you'll notice your pauses feel confident rather than empty. Pausing instead of filling space shows calm control, draws attention to your words, and allows your presence, not the noise between your words, to hold authority. Mistake 9. Ordering or serving without considering others first. Meals are never just about food. They're about connection. When you order before others at a restaurant or serve yourself before offering to those nearby, it can signal haste or self-focus, even if unintended. The order of service reflects awareness, showing that you're tuned into the comfort of those around you. Consider real-life dining moments. At a work lunch, waiting for colleagues to order first communicates professionalism and respect. At a family gathering, offering to serve elders before yourself honors tradition. Even among close friends, pausing to ask, "What looks good to you?" shifts the focus from self to shared experience. This small courtesy carries immense weight. It tells people that you notice them, that you value their presence, and that your own needs are not the only priority. That grace of consideration lingers long after the meal, leaving an impression of warmth, respect, and quiet sophistication. Mistake 10. Showing visible impatience with service staff. Tapping fingers on the table, sighing, or speaking sharply to staff may feel like small expressions of frustration, but they often reveal more about you than the situation itself. Impatience doesn't signal strength, it signals insecurity. It suggests that your sense of control depends on exerting pressure rather than embodying calm. True strength shows in patience. Waiting with composure reflects inner steadiness, even in imperfect circumstances. Research from the University of Toronto highlights that people who display patience are perceived as more competent and trustworthy. In social settings, this quality magnifies presence far more than frustration ever could. And how you treat staff sets the clearest tone for your character. Friends, colleagues, and even strangers quietly notice. Grace toward those in service roles communicates not only kindness, but also confidence in your own dignity. It says, respect is not selective, it's a way of being with everyone. Mistake 11, forgetting to acknowledge silent contributors in a grouping. In group settings, it's easy for quieter voices to fade into the background. Yet silence doesn't equal lack of value. Often it's the reflective observer who holds the most thoughtful insight. When these contributions go unacknowledged, the group loses depth, and the individual may feel unseen. This is the overlooked voice problem. Acknowledgement builds trust. According to research published in Harvard Business Review, employees who feel recognized are nearly 5 times more likely to stay engaged and loyal. And this principle extends beyond work. Acknowledgement deepens connection in friendships, families, and communities too. Bringing inclusivity to life doesn't require grand gestures. It can be as simple as asking, "I'd love to hear your thoughts," or circling back to someone who hasn't spoken yet. These small invitations show that you value more than volume, you value perspective. That awareness elevates the whole group, creating respect that lasts. Mistake 12. Ending conversations without graceful closure. Conversations, like stories, deserve an ending that feels complete. When a discussion ends abruptly, walking away mid-thought or offering only a quick "got to go," it can feel dismissive. The other person is left wondering if their time or words mattered, and that unfinished note lingers more than we realize. A graceful closure leaves warmth behind. This doesn't mean drawing things out, but rather offering a thread of gratitude or acknowledgement. For instance, "I've really enjoyed catching up. Let's continue this soon." Or, "Thank you for sharing that with me. It gave me something to think about." These moments show respect for both the exchange and the person. Elegant goodbyes create lasting impressions. People remember how they felt in your presence more than the exact words spoken. When you close with intention, you leave behind a sense of value, respect, and connection, qualities that never go unnoticed. Bonus insight: the power of stillness before response. There is a practice so rarely spoken about, yet deeply transformative: stillness before response. Most of us rush to fill silence, eager to answer quickly or prove attentiveness. But silence, when embraced, creates depth. It gives your thoughts time to settle and signals that you're listening with care rather than reacting from impulse. Why does this matter? Neuroscience research from the University of Oregon shows that a short pause improves clarity, making communication sharper and more intentional. In personal conversations, it prevents misunderstandings. In social gatherings, it makes your words feel more deliberate. And in professional spaces, it distinguishes you as someone thoughtful rather than hurried. This practice transforms presence. By allowing a breath of stillness, you show calm self-possession. Your words carry more weight, your confidence feels grounded, and people lean in. Because silence, when held with grace, has its own quiet authority. Thank you for staying with me all the way to the bonus insight. I'd love to know you were here. Drop the phrase "Grace Matters" in the comments. It not only tells me you connected with this message, but also helps us build a circle of women who value presence, respect, and genuine elegance. If this video brought you value, gently tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone you believe would appreciate these insights as much as you did. There's another recommended video waiting for you on the screen. Consider it the natural next step in this journey toward deeper presence and elegance. And until we meet again, carry these small practices with you. May they bring calm, confidence, and quiet power into your every interaction.